Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Safest Lab, a webinar dedicated to raising awareness about child safety during travel with baby car seats. I'm Ashish Bhandari, and I'll be your host today. We have a distinguished panel of experts joining us. Dr. Raghuram Malaya, Director of Neonatology at Fortis La Farm, Mr. Rajesh Bohra, CEO of Atsana India, Kiko, Mr. Vikrant Tripathi, General Manager North, Lifecell International Private Limited. Before we delve into our discussion, I'd like to introduce our esteemed panelist. Dr. Malaya is a renowned neonatologist with extensive experience in child health. Mr. Vora leads Kiko in India, known for their innovative baby care products, including car seats. And from LifeCell, we have Mr. Vikrant on stem cell banking and its implications for child safety. Today, we'll explore crucial aspects of child safety in cars, debunk myths, and highlight innovations. Let's begin with our first question for Dr. Malaya. Dr. Malaya, welcome. My first question to you is, why is it important to have a baby car seat installed in your vehicle when traveling with infants or toddlers?
Hi, Ashish, and thanks for having me on this panel today. I think that's a very relevant and important question, especially in the context of what we tend to deal with in India today. Most people in our country travel with the baby in the car with this huge sense of false security that keeping the baby in your arms is safe while traveling in the car. I'll just take a few minutes to explain the importance of the car seat and why, when you compare it to how an adult remains safe in a car. I think that's the best analogy that I can draw. So when an adult sits in a car, they normally restrain themselves by wearing a seat belt. And as we are all aware, that wearing a seat belt is compulsory across the world, mainly because it is proven that when you wear the car seat belt, it is a very good restraint and prevents you whenever there's an impact. It may not be a high-speed impact. It may be just even a sudden braking, somebody hits you from behind. The natural tendency is for you to go forward or to get thrown off from your car seat. And that's how you end up getting whiplash injuries or even head injuries for that matter. And the car seat plays a very, very, very important role. And that's why it is mandatory for everybody to use the car seat. So an adult actually gets restrained, and the car seat is a good form of restraint and protects you not only during a high-speed impact, but even in situations where there's a sudden braking event that happens while you're sitting in the car. However, the car seat belt doesn't work effectively until you're a particular height. So not only a baby or a toddler, but even an older child who is probably less than 4.5 feet will not be restrained properly in a seat belt, in the normal car seat belt which you have in the cars. For this reason, not only an infant or toddler, but even a child, say maybe about 8 to 10 years of age, has to use a special form of restraint, which will either be in the older kids, a booster car seat, and in the event of a small toddler or an infant, you need to use a proper car seat. So what the car seat actually does is prevents the baby from, not only restrains the baby with the harness which they have to hold the baby in place, but also supports the baby's head and the neck and the back as well. Again, I'm sure we're going to discuss about different car seats later on, but just to give you a perspective, an infant or a toddler has to always use a rear-facing car seat, and it's always better for them to be in the rear seat, not in the front seat. The logic, I'll just try and explain the logic of why we do these things. It's just not somebody's decided they should do this, but there's a lot of physics and physiology involved in this whole process, which a lot of people don't understand. So I'm just going to try and explain that so that people understand why it is important to do what we do. So if you keep the baby in the front seat, and suppose you have an impact, then the airbags, nowadays all cars have airbags, that is more likely to suffocate the baby. And that's the reason why, that's the first reason why you should not keep the baby in the front seat. It's always safer to keep the baby in the rear seat. And then why should you use a rear facing car seat? And this is something which is always a question. A lot of people tell us that if the baby is facing back, they're not very comfortable because they cannot see the parents. The parents cannot interact with the baby while traveling in the car. But the reason, there's a huge amount of physiology involved in this, mainly because infants or small babies or toddlers, if you compare the ratio of their head and the body, it is much higher compared to what is for an older child, which simply translates to the fact that the head sits more heavily on your neck. And whenever there's an impact, again, like I mentioned to you, the normal tendency is for you to move forward. Whereas if you are in a rear-facing car seat, because the headrest of the car seat is facing forward, your baby's head will not move forward when you are in a rear facing car seat. If you turn the car seat around, which like a lot of people do, and put the baby in the forward facing position, when there's an impact, although there's a restraint to hold the baby's body in place, there's a huge impact on the head and the neck, because like I explained to you, the head and neck is much heavier. The head is sits much more heavily on the neck in a smaller baby. So in the forward facing car seat, you're more likely to have a severe impact. Although your body may be still restrained, your baby may end up having neck or head injuries. And that's the reason why it is important to use a rear facing car seat in the rear seat of the car. And on the whole, I hope that I've made it very clear that although people feel they get this false sense of security of holding the baby in the lap, or what commonly people call as keeping the baby in the godi, which is a very comfortable. People feel it's a very comfortable thing to do with the baby. I can vouch for you that it's not only uncomfortable for the baby, but it's extremely unsafe to do so, and that's the reason why you need to use a car seat.
Well, thank you, Dr. Malaya. But talking about the importance of car seats, obviously, Doctor mentioned about the body positioning and the alignment. I want to bring Mr. Bora in. Sir, with your experience, I would like to ask you on behalf of all the parents, of the new parents. I'm a father of a 2-month-old twin babies. So, what are the key factors that one needs to keep in mind when we want to invest in a car seat, in a good car seat?
Thank you, Ashish, and congrats for your tweets. So basically, I think Dr. Malaya explained it very well. But that the uses why the car seat is important, I'll straight away dwell into the different types of car seat. So first and foremost, as we all understand that we, from Indian perspective, we are the first generation who's going to use the car seat. Because for us, that is a new concept. These things were not available for us in the country. Baby car seat was not the part. Whereas in the Western world, baby car seat has been there for decades. So the learning curve is way more in terms of parents who probably themselves have used the car seat. So for them, the adaptability is way better. The understanding of the baby car seat is way more higher than us. So we being the first time baby car seat user, of course, we'll have various questions and we probably need much more awareness in this part. But thanks for being late. As we understand, today when we are looking at car seat, there is a good amount of development and we are not starting from zero. I think we are starting from the already ground plus where we have been able to adapt to the developed market in the Western world. So in India, to give you a perspective while choosing the car seat, Indian government has made it mandatory for all the car manufacturer over the last few years to use a ISOFIX baby child restraint system. Now, what is that ISOFIX baby restraint system is that it has got bar at the bottom where you can straight away fix your baby car seat very easily and conveniently. To make it even sturdier, you need to put a latch and or a badge where the baby car seat can be installed properly. So the first and foremost part is when you buy a car seat is that you need to see that in today's your car seat is compliant to ISOFIX child restraint system, and the car seat that you're buying also has the same ISOFIX system. That's the first part. The second, clearly, when you buy a car seat, you need to look at it that it has got 5 seat belt safety harness. Now, why is that is important is because with that, you have now installed a proper car seat. Installing a car seat is the first part. Now you need to ensure that the baby is also seated properly. So with that 5-point safety harness, you need to put 2 on the shoulder, 2 on the waist, and 1 from the crotch, so that baby is fully secure in the baby car seat. Now that's the second important thing to look at it, that the seat that you buy should have that 5-point harness system. The third point that I will talk about is now that the baby is already sitting and we are already struggling in terms of adaptability because of various misconceptions. As Dr. Malaya also said, that we feel that mothers or the adults go the hand is more safe. Basically we need to move from that, and we feel that baby is not comfortable sitting in the baby car seat. I can assure you, with the new age baby car seat that are available in the market, the baby has a complete cushion. There's a huge amount of comfort when he's sleeping or resting or watching the world in the baby car seat. So the fabric that we need to see needs to be breathable. The cushioning has to be much more stronger, because the baby may need to sit for much longer hours. So these are some of the important element to look at it. Then another aspect is that easy boarding system. Now, what is this easy boarding system with the new car seat? Like the Dr. Malai explained, that the baby cars in the initial part, the baby needs to sit rear facing. Now, if the baby is sitting rear facing while you are, let's say, standing in the car, or the car, you're waiting for somebody, the easy boarding system, you should have the adaptability to turn the car seat facing yourself. So that also is a very important parameter when we look at baby car seat. And for sure, when we talk about, we also said that the head and body ratio, which is much different in case of baby versus adult. The baby car seat should be adaptable to the growing age of the baby. Now, having said that, it might sound a lot of words, but please understand, with you need to buy a car seat from the expert who understand the baby car seat with decade of experience. I can tell you from Kiko, where we have a huge research center where we have built up this knowledge over the years. And coming from global expertise, I think what we offer to our consumer is a safe bet, and most of our car seat comply with all the parameters as I explained so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vora. So now we've talked about the why of car seats, and why do we need them, and what kind of cars, what kind of factors we need to take into consideration when looking for a car seats. I want to bring Mr. Vikrant into the discussion now. We are taking this discussion a little bit ahead. Uh, Mr. Vikrant, from a safety point of view, safety and security point of view, I want you to take all of us into the world of stem cell banking and how it helps in the lifetime safety and security of the child, not only the child but the sibling and the family members as well.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. Yes, obviously, stem cells have the potential to treat many genetic conditions, and currently there are more than 90 plus conditions. Basically, they are blood-related conditions. For an example, thalassemia, leukemia, multiple myeloma, Fanconi anemia. So there are more than 90 plus conditions which can be treated through stem cells, and they have potential to treat more than 500 plus conditions which are still into clinical trials. But obviously, the treatments are available worldwide. And as of now, Lifestyle has more than 2 years, like 2 decades of experience in this corporate banking in India. We started in 2004. So as of now, we have stored more than 6.5 lakh customers' samples. Though it covers baby, siblings, parents, and grandparents, so we are covering basically 8 family members. And if we talk about the guidelines and the protocols which are available in India, so ICMR has clearly said that there are multiple options available for families to store their baby's cord blood. But the most important and the most useful option available is the community banking, wherein you have your own sample preserved, plus you have a community pool wherein you can use the donor samples as well. Because not all the conditions can be treated through our own stem cells. We need donors basically for majority of the conditions for the treatment. So once you store your baby samples, it gives you plethora of options available. For an example, we are not dependent on any donors. So the donor related delays and complications are not there. Plus, we have a peace of mind that yes, whenever I need stem cells, these cells are available, readily available. And whether we are in India or abroad, wherever we are, these stem cells will be readily available for the transplant, and the transplant can be taken, the process and the retrieval time frame is very short. So within 7 days of time frame, you'll be having your sample, whether you are in US, Australia, anywhere. We have already sent samples across the globe. People have used it. We have already done 86 transplants, and all these children are healthy and disease free. So we are very happy to tell you and to tell everyone that yes, stem cell banking was a luxury earlier, but currently it is a necessity, because there are most of the conditions. If we leave those genetic conditions also, there are multiple day-to-day life-based conditions, and there are multiple your lifestyle conditions which can be treated through stem cells. So stem cells have a huge scope in treating stem cells. It has been there in the medical fraternity. Yes, in India it's a new concept, but the scope is very, very wide. Thank you.
Sorry.
Can't hear
Thank you
you.
so much, Mr. Vikrant. Firstly, I want to apologize that we caught you at the wrong time. You were on the move, but thank you so much for
No
still
problem.
taking
No
our
problem.
taking out time and enlightening us on this important aspect of stem cell banking, which is still a new concept, yes, but it is extremely important. Dr. Malaya, I want to come back to you. We have talked at length in the first 15, 16 minutes of this discussion about the importance and the relevance of car seats. But I want to again take you back to the reason that what if I don't want to use? What if I still say that it's okay? My lap and my hands are safer for the kids. What happens if we do not use a car seat, and in case of an impact, even if a small one, what happens physiologically to the baby?
Ashish, I think before I answer that question, just a little point which Mr. Vora was making while he was just talking a few minutes ago. I think this is the first generation of people who have got used to the concept of using a car seat. So there's a huge cultural imbalance, if I can say that, that people, the acceptance of using the car seat is low because people have never used it. That people have not been aware of the concept of using the car seat. But in my own experience, I think the main reason why people don't use car seat, or for the question that you asked, what will happen if you don't use the car seat, if that's the way a person approaches the problem, I think an important aspect to understand over there is that a lot of people are not using the car seat because they don't want to use it. They are not aware of the advantages of using a car seat. They're not aware of something known as a car seat. In my own practice, when I talk to a lot of my patients and I explain to them that you should never travel in a car without holding the baby in your arm, you should always keep the baby in the car seat, a lot of them actually start accepting it. So I think the webinars like this, where we are talking about it, will improve a lot of awareness among people, will improve this, and people will start using car seat. I think it is not so much that they don't want to use it, it is just the fact that they're not aware of the advantages of using it, which then leads me on to the question that you asked me: what happens if you don't use it, or if somebody says we don't want to use it? And this is not me talking, this is data from across the world which is very, very clearly shown that if you use a car seat, the chance of your baby having a problem decreases, both in terms of mortality as well as morbidity, which means not only death but also in terms of preventing serious injuries or even minor injuries for that matter, decreases by almost about 70%. That's a whopping number to decrease a problem, or if I look at it from the other way, in protecting your baby from having a problem. Like I said, this is all data which has come in over a period of number of years from the American Safety Agency, the European safety agencies. So that's why from across the world, almost among the whatever 180, 190 countries which are there, almost 90 to 100 countries, it is mandatory for people to use the car seat. It has become a law, so much so that if you do not use the car seat, it is almost amounting to abuse for the child. So the parents will be fined or will be arrested according to law. So that's how important it is used. It is to use the car seat. Most governments view it in such a very, very strict manner that if you're not using the car seat, then you are putting your baby in the way of harm. So I hope that sort of puts things into perspective as to why it is so important to use the car seat. People won't make a law if there's not enough evidence to suggest that it actually works. So I think we can give multiple examples in our own life, day-to-day life. In my own practice, I've seen people coming back with injuries when they're holding the baby in the arm. It doesn't have to be a high-speed impact. A lot of people, in fact, we had an instance when the person was just driving to the hospital with their kids, in fact, with twins, and he just swerved off the road. It was not even an impact, and both the babies flew off their arms and got hurt. So I, rather than just using our own examples, I think it is important to put it in a global perspective, where even not only developed countries, a number of developing countries also have made it mandatory for people to use car seats. Obviously, in our country, for it to become a law may take a little while, but I think people should come forward by themselves and understand the importance of why you should use car seat. It is important to protect your baby in the car, and the only way you can effectively do this is by using the car seat. So I think that's how important it is to use the car seat. Like I mentioned earlier, not only in small infants and toddlers, but even in children, maybe up to the age of 8 to 10 years, you need to use the booster seat to secure your child. Don't ever take the risk. Don't listen to what people say. The car seats are very comfortable for babies. It's not only the arms which are comfortable. And in my own opinion and experience, I think the arms are more uncomfortable than the car seat. Most babies, if you start using the car seat from early on in life, they'll be very, very comfortable, and they will not have any problems.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. So we're just trying to create awareness, not trying to instill fear in the minds of people watching us right now. We're just stating facts and trying to create an awareness about the importance of car seats. Which brings me to the next question, Mr. Vora. I want to bring you in here. Dr. Malaya talked about the importance of car seats at for various ages of babies, right from the infants, toddlers to the age of say 7 to 8 years. I want to understand from you the difference between the different kinds of car seats and the extensions, if are available, and how the car seats are different for different age group of children. Mr. Vora, you're on
I
mute.
was on mute. Sorry. Yeah. So this is also evolving field. I think thanks to a lot of research and development that has happened in the Western world, the market or the car seats have come a long way from what it was earlier. To give you an answer in the first part, what are the various types or the groups? So there are multiple age groups, what you call mono groups, and in the last, I would say about 5 years or so, new concept of multi-group car safety system has come up, where again we are staying into isofix system. So there are baby car seat that are multi that grows with the growth of the baby. Okay, so first and foremost, let me give you a little, because I'm talking about isofix, need to explain a little bit more in this particular aspect. What does it do? So earlier baby car seat were sold as per the weight, or more often than not, we used to say till what age we should use the car seat. I think over the time period, with the understanding, it is clearly been defined. The baby car seat needs with the isofix system is defined by the height of the baby. So irrespective of the age, weight, it's the height which is very, very important. So up to the 76 centimeters of the height, baby needs to sit in the rear facing car seat. Okay, and after 76 say, till about 150 centimeters, so which is good, about 4 feet plus, that baby can sit in the front facing baby car seat. And with the multiple group car seat, the adjustment that is available, the baby car seat can grow with the growth of the baby. So initially it can be put into a flat thing, rear facing, and with the increase, you can increase the height of the baby car seat, so it grows with the age. There is one more small concept that we talk about from the age of from the height. Let's forget about age, even if I say, please forgive me for that. With the height, if at all, if the baby is 125 centimeters and above, there is a thing called booster car seat. If they can also use it, and with that they can use the car seat belt. But typically from roughly about 150 centimeters from the birth or to 150 centimeter, baby car seat should be applied. Thereafter, you can you can move straight away to the car seat system.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
Ashish,
Vora.
if I can just come in for a second. I think Mr.
Yes,
Vora
of
very
course.
clearly explained very nicely about how to use the car seats. Actually, because in India there's not so much data, people are very confused about it. If people want to know more about how to fix the car seat and what's the correct car seat to use, on our Safest Lab website, we have a very well-made video from the Indian point of view on how to fix it in the car. I think people can go and have a look at that as well.
Oh, that's pretty important, Dr. Malaya. That we're not just telling you what to do; we're also telling you how exactly to do it. I want to bring Mr. Vikrant here. Mr. Vikrant, a lot of us want to know, apart from stem cell banking, how is LifeCell as a company making sure the overall security and safety of a child?
Okay, so yeah, obviously, stem cell banking has been our core business. As I said, we started in 2004. But apart from that, stem cell banking, we are into genetic testing of the children. So the product name is Baby Shield or the service name is Baby Shield, wherein we screen the children for genetic conditions, for more than 120 plus genetic conditions. And after this screening, obviously, when the parents receive those reports, they can be rest assured that all these genetic conditions or metabolic conditions will be there with the children in the future or not. If it is any chance that children that child can have that condition, we can start the precautions as soon as possible so that those diseases doesn't grow. So it gives families or the parents satisfaction, peace of mind that yes, my child or my baby is healthy, free from all these genetic conditions, and it gives you a peaceful life during a lifespan. Apart from that, we have recently launched one product which is known as Ayurveda. So since we are into stem cell banking from last 2 decades, there was a study which came to us, and it was very shocking that we got to know that more than 200 plus toxins were present inside baby's cord blood. And the basic reason, or the you can say the source of these toxins, were the skincare products which maybe the mothers were using during the pregnancy time. So after lots of research, lots of testing, lots of formulations, we have came up with the new product which is known as Ayurveda. It's a skincare product for the pregnant women, for the children's, and obviously for the normal women who have crossed their pregnancy tenure. These are all 98% natural, and uh, I'm really very happy to tell each and everyone, like we are the only company in India, we're the first company in India who has got certification from EWG, which is Environmental World Group, and EcoCert. So if you see across the market, most of these cosmetic products or the skincare products will be having either of these two certificates, but we have both the certifications because the technology or the processing method which we use to formulate all these products uses liquid nitrogen, uses cryomilling, and all these natural products secure their original state. Like 98% of the products or the contents which we have in these products are natural. So we can clearly say that yes, we are into skincare also, we are into preventive health also, we are into stem cell banking also. So we are trying to cover up all the healthcare aspects available for the children and basically related to the children and the pregnant women.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vikrant. Stay on for us for a little while more. So here at Safest Lab, we are not only talking about the safety of the children in the car seat, but we're also talking about very important aspect of stem cell banking and all the other services related to it. Dr. Malaya, I want to come back to you with another question, which obviously brings up a lot of other questions as well. A lot of time it's a common belief that maybe a car seat is not exactly the safest option in a mishappening, in an untoward incident. It might actually harm the children, harm the babies. How do you debunk this myth? And I want to add another thing, that what are the other myths that are associated with using a usage of car seats? And if you've come across something very very funny or very unusual kind of a myth that you want to bunk right now.
Yes, Ashish. A lot of people come and ask us these questions. The first one, obviously, being that everybody feels that if you if you sit a baby in a car seat, it is not safe for their head and the neck. I won't go into the details of this. I actually very clearly explained to you about how a car seat protects the baby's head and neck. But this is one of the common beliefs or common issues that people have, that a small baby's neck on the head will not be secure enough, or the baby will scrunch in the car seat and they will have more problems and they'll be extremely uncomfortable in the car seat. And this is by far the commonest question that people ask us. Is there a particular age after which we can make the baby sit in the car seat? Because the baby's back is not very strong, they'll not be able to sit in the car seat. So it's better for us to hold the baby. Like I very, very clearly explained to you in the very beginning itself, that the car seat, on the contrary to all these beliefs, is the best way to help or support your baby's neck and the head. So I think this is an extremely important message, which I want most of the audience to understand, that don't listen to what people say. There is a huge amount of scientific evidence which has been published from across the world, that the car seat is actually protective. It doesn't 100% with 100% authority, I can say it will not cause any problem to your baby's head or your back, and you don't have to wait for the baby to reach a particular age. Even a newborn baby can sit in the car seat and should sit in the car seat. We go to the extent of saying that even a premature baby, a lot of times we discharge babies who are extremely small, even at 1.8, send them home. And we tell all the parents that you should seat them in the car seat, even the first time when you take them home from the hospital. So I think I sort of have made it very clear as to how important it is to use the car seat. Do not wait for the baby to reach a particular age. Even the smallest of smallest babies can sit in the car seat, will not cause the baby any harm. And like I mentioned to you earlier on, it is an offense not to take the baby in a car seat in a lot of countries across the world. The other common, I wouldn't say myth, but mostly the misconceptions is that, your baby will not have a problem unless and until you have a high speed impact, which is not true. Like I mentioned earlier, there have been instances where it's just been a sudden braking incident. You may be driving perfectly safe, somebody may come and hit you from behind. It may not even be a high speed impact. You're not on a highway, but even driving within the city, you can have these mishaps. Hopefully you should not have, but you can have it, and the car seat will 100% protect you. Even with the smallest impact, even with the sudden braking, the baby can fly off your arms. So don't be under the misconception that holding the baby in the arm is safe while you're traveling within the city. We tell all our parents to carry the baby in the car seat, in the car, even when they're coming to the hospital, even if it's like a 5-minute drive, if they're going to the supermarket, if they're going anywhere else, always carry the baby in the car seat. And like Mr. Vora explained earlier, the fixation of the car seat is so easy now. Previously, it used to be a chore to do it, but now it's very easy with the onset of the ISOFIX. It's just a click of a button. The car seat gets logged into the car, and you can carry the baby in the car seat wherever you want to. So it's a very easy job. It's not even laborious. But I think more important than anything, it's the safety which comes first. So you should always use a car seat. Whether it's a small baby, whether you're going on a small drive, whether you're going on a long drive, it doesn't matter. If you see a car and a baby, you should have a car seat.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mr. Bora. I want to bring you here. When we're talking about safety, I want to ask you, how does Kiko ensure that the car seats adhere to the highest safety standards and regulations in India?
Okay. So as we understand, unfortunately, we still do not have the mandatory requirement. Of course, there is a standardization that is happening, as we talked about, that over the last few years, all the car manufacturer, it has been mandatory for them to use, mandatory to have ISOFIX child restraint system in the rear seat for all the cars that is getting sold in the country, which we believe is a direction in which that in the later stage or some stage in future there should be some legislation. Having said that, legislation or no legislation, as we understand, it is the safety which is paramount need of the baby, that we should adhere to using car seat. Having said that, what are the standards that are typically a car seat, or how the car seat should be manufactured, because baby car seat should be done. Okay, so clear. as we mentioned, that we are the expert of making car seat with our global expertise. When we go through each and every Kiko car seat, go through a systematic process from design to production phases. So I'll probably take a little bit into this part. So production stage, we look at a winning product that comes from a well-structured design phase with the help of Kiko's Research Center, which is instrumental in terms of developing the ergonomic evolution of the product design. It collects information or parents from the it collects feedback from the parent, collaborate with the medical fraternity and also with the automotive industry to develop this product. So it is in the design stage. So from design stage to development and engineering. So in this phase, it goes through a rigorous test and such as habitability. These are high words, so maybe I'll ask you to go through the Kiko website and see what all each of this thing means. So habitability, usability, compatibility, and crash tests. I mean, to give you a perspective, we are one of the few companies in the world who have their own crash test facility in-house. So we are, of course, our car seat, as per independent baby forum globally, is been picked up by the forums, and they test each and every car seat. Baby car seat is tested in the external laboratory, but we also have internal baby crash car seat. So we develop at the development stage itself a robust, safe car seat for the baby. The next step that comes up is the homologation. Homologation is the phase where car seat go through various requirement with respect to respective laws. So certain countries have different laws. So each and every laws are adopted with the various geographies. So it's a homologation of the product, each product to the different geography, so to say. Then comes production. So for production also, each and every car seat of a baby Kiko, our Kiko car seat comes with a clear-cut label where and comes with a complete information of manufacturing location, batch, code that can stay for life of the baby car seat. So these are, I think, very, very important parameter. And finally, it's the market. So what Kiko does is that it listen and supports and follow the consumer habit all through life, and ensuring that the parents and the baby is comfortable even after the car seat is sold is our mission. So we take it big pride in terms of our entire process from production design to development and homologation till reaching to the consumer. So that's
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Vora. Well, our endeavor on this campaign is to make sure that our coming generations are safe and secure. Mr. Tripathi, I want to bring you in. In your opinion, what role can technology play in contributing to preventive healthcare for the newborns?
Well, technology plays a huge role in healthcare and preventive healthcare. Basically, if we start about, let's say, for stem cell, earlier we used to have manual technology to process the sample. Then we got semi-automated. Then now we have fully automated machines which can process a sample in 40-45 minutes. So obviously, technology advancements is playing a very critical role in healthcare. In terms of preventive healthcare for newborns, also obviously Baby Shield, which the product which we have, it gives you a quick response on the reports, the preventive healthcare steps which you have to take care for the child, and all those consultations like telemedications and teleconsultations are a part of technology only, which has eased our life so much that we don't have to even move outside our hospital, or sorry, our premises to have a consultation from the doctor or from any of the medical experts. So, and going forward, obviously, technology is going to play a major role in terms of healthcare, surgeries, microsurgeries, testings, all these parts of advanced technologies itself. So, according to me, yes, technology is growing, healthcare industry is growing, and COVID, that 2 year time frame has given us lots of scope, and it has really shown us what technology can play a role in our lifestyle. Uh, we are sitting in different places right now, and we are using technology only, and we are connected with so many people. Again, it's a part of technology. So obviously, the technology is going to play a huge and critical role in healthcare, especially for newborns, because these are the you can say a set of people or the babies who are not willing, or it's not even safe to move them outside for a small consultation. We can sit at our home place in a secured environment, and we can have all the information available for how to take care of the child, how to make sure that they're healthy, happy, environment, pollution. There are many stuffs available. They are available which can harm our health currently and in future scope also. So that's yes. This technology is going to play a very critical role in healthcare.
Well, absolutely. We all agree that technology is what bringing us all together and improving our
Yep.
lives as well. Uh, there is a question that I want to keep open and anybody can answer. Uh, what are the most important and most significant barriers or challenges in promoting widespread adoption of baby car seats in India, and how can we overcome these? Dr. Malaya, if you could start.
I think, like you mentioned earlier, Ashish, there's huge issue in terms of a cultural perspective, mainly because people are not used to the concept. I think the first and foremost thing is that message has to be spread very clearly, that it is important to use the car seat, and I think we made it clear what the how important it is to use the car seat in protecting your baby's safety and the baby's future. I think that's very important to understand. One of the other things, I was just talking in a forum to parents just recently, and one of the questions that one of the parents asked me is that, the car seats are expensive. Everybody in India cannot afford it, and this is one of the arguments that's also been used for making it legislation in number of countries, saying that car seats are expensive and people may not be able to use it. But to the amount of protection that it gives you, I think buying a car seat is not a big deal. And if you can afford to buy a car, I don't think it should be a problem to buy a car seat to make the car a safer place for your child. I think it's a very small price to pay for the safety of your child. And car seats are very affordable nowadays, and they're not that expensive. We are very, as you know, as you might be aware with my conversations with you so far, that I'm a big advocate of using car seats. So we actually tell all parents that it should be a necessary accessory for you, even before your baby is born. Please go check out the car seats, buy an appropriate car seat that suits your budget, that suits your car, or suits your lifestyle. You should buy a car seat even before the baby is born. Just like how you spend so much time and effort making your baby's room and preparing, buying the clothes and preparing everything else for the arrival of your baby. I think it's very important that you start thinking about using a car seat from that time on. And like I always say, it's a very small price to pay to protect your baby's future.
You're mute.
Technology sometimes
Yeah.
gets in the way of a smooth functioning. Mr. Bora, if you want to add something to this point, or I can move to the next question.
So I would add a couple of points. In fact, continuing first on the cost parameter, and then second thing I would talk about the major thing would be awareness, which I'll come to that. So on the cost, I think I would say yes, it is a very small cost considering the it's a necessary accessory. I fully agree with Dr. Malaya here. Like for most other things. If we compare the cost, of course, it is expensive, but it is an investment you're making for about 6-7 years of the thing. So if you divide it per year, it's almost nothing. And the peace of mind that you get by having this car seat is way smaller than anything else. It's clearly a long-term investment. It's not a one-time investment. With multiple group car seat system that has come up, it has become much more easier. Second, I would say in this particular aspect is there's a lack of awareness. In my opinion, like Dr. Malaya also said, it is not that parents are not willing to buy. They are not even considering. It's not even there in their consideration set because people are not talking about it, and you don't see it. So it's a cultural thing. Nobody use it. Why should I use? If I don't use my godi, people will think that I don't care of my baby. Oh, this mother or the father has put the baby into car seat. Why can't they hold in the hand? So it's cultural, like many things that we have done in the past. So in my opinion, that the awareness like such that we are doing with the safe hashtag, the safest lap that we are talking about here, which is a brainchild. And I must appreciate and thank Dr. Malaya for this huge effort that is taken the initiative single-handedly, that is promoting and building the awareness around the baby car safety program. So awareness is crucial, and I think it definitely needed to come from medical fraternity, where eminent personality like Dr. Malaya can play a very big role. I would urge more and more people to come and join this part. So I think if it comes from the doctor fraternity, the adaptation can be much, much faster. I'll just give you a very small perspective here. That when we talk about that this awareness that okay, it's not important if a car is traveling at just a 50 kilometer of speed, and the baby is about let's say 15 kg or so, 50 kilometer speed, 15 kg of baby, in a small impact, the weight of the baby or the momentum that comes up can be plus 400 kgs. Can anybody hold this, the baby like this in their lap? Impossible. So if you think about any small mishap, you immediately see, oh, the baby fell from my hand. So it's no problem. It's not a fault of the parent. You cannot hold it, because that's the thirst that can come in. So please understand, it is definitely important accessory, and the awareness is crucial in this part. Thank you.
That brings us to my final question. I want to start with you, Mr. Bora, this time. How can policymakers, since you talked about all of us coming together and trying to raise awareness around this particular thing, so how can policymakers, healthcare providers, and manufacturers collaborate better to increase awareness and access to safer travel solutions for infants and young children?
Absolutely right. I think, as I mentioned in my just a few minutes back, with the effort that we are doing with the safest lab, with the Fortis Law Firm, I think it's the first collaborative effort with the healthcare professional and manufacturer like us who are talking about it. Policy making, as we understand, is a task where probably all of us needs to work together, and it is always a momentum that will build up over the time period. Clearly, it's a long route, but the adaptation needs to come from us as an individual, and many things that we have seen, that adaptation has come from the parents or the consumer first, and then probably it has come up a law. And my fear is that when the law will come up, probably we'll start getting into car seat, which may not which will be different at that point in time. Today you need to buy a car seat which is safe from reputed builder, because you're buying it more for the perspective of safety. To move into this direction, clearly we need to train the advisors. We like in our own store, most of our advisors, like all of our advisors, are fully aware. Go there and understand how the car seat can be used, and they can also demonstrate you in the car by traveling with you, let's say in a mall or a high street. This can be fitted properly. Also, I think this seminar like this can really help. But important is, please go to the safest lab, where we have put in a lot of content. Also, you can visit www.kiko.in, where there's tons of information available on two different uses, sizes, etc. So there's plenty of things that we can do in building this awareness. And I think collaboration with healthcare provider is one of the most important parameter at this early stage of adaptation. And with their support, the adaptation rate can be much faster, quicker in the times to come. Thank you.
Dr. Malaya, your views on this?
Ashish, I think as we've been discussing technology in a lot of detail, we've discussed about technology and how it has changed lives. I think with all the social media that is available, and how people use Google for information, a lot of people have seen the car seat, but most of them are not aware of the advantages of it. It is still viewed as a vanity issue. People don't understand fully how important it is, what is the protective effect it offers to your child. So a lot of people, when I talk to them, just feel that, oh, they use it abroad. We've seen it in videos, we've seen it over here, but we really don't understand how it actually makes a difference. So people just use the car seat to keep the baby, maybe to keep the baby comfortable. But I think, like I said, this movement for people to start using car seat has to come from within. People need to understand, like we discussed, how very clearly we have explained today why it is important to use the car seat, how it protects your baby. In terms of policy making, I don't see the policy as such changing in the near future. We may not get rules, but I think it has to be a voluntary movement for now. And people have to start thinking about their own safety of their child, and they have to start doing it themselves. I don't think we need to wait for law to come in for people to start using it. Once people start understanding the importance of using the car seat, they have to come forward to protect their own children. And like I said, we need to have more awareness programs. And I see the change in people already the moment they read about it and the moment we explain to them. Obviously, it's very difficult to do it on a large scale basis, but I'm hoping by doing these awareness programs, like we started the Safest Lab, more and more people, not only in Delhi NCR, we are trying to make it even national. Obviously, babies across India have to be protected. It's just not important to protect them in one particular region. The awareness has to be raised across the country, and that's a huge task. Like I said, I don't see the policy happening now, but it has to be people like us coming forward, trying to explain to parents, trying to take this movement forward. We've taken a very small step in this direction, but I hope that it catches on and people start understanding why you need to use baby car seat. And I can tell you that's the only way you can protect a baby safely while you're traveling in a car.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Malaya. So the collaboration is what we all require right now, from people like you, medical practitioners like you, healthcare companies like LifeCell, and obviously a manufacturer like Kiko, Mr. Bora. So collaboration is, and broadcasters like us coming together and raising awareness is what we are trying to do here on this campaign. So as we conclude our discussion today on the Safest Lab initiative, I want to thank our distinguished panelists, Dr. Raghuram Malaya, Mr. Rajesh Bora, and Mr. Vikrant Tripathi for their valuable insights into ensuring the children's safety here. We've explored crucial aspects, safety features, misconceptions, and the technology's role in using baby car seats. Well, it's clear that collaboration among policymakers, healthcare providers, and manufacturers is essential for promoting awareness and accessibility. Remember, the safety of our children during travel starts with the choices we make. Thank you all for joining us today. Stay safe and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.